friend, the boring narrator, and I'm here to tell you about the election of 1828. As you may remember, our president was John Q. Adams. However, you may also remember that supporters of his main rival, Andrew Jackson, were really upset about the fact that John Q. Adams had been elected president. In the meantime, many other things had happened. The most important thing you need to know about is something called the Tariff of Abominations. In order to explain what that is, let's talk about what the word tariff means. It has to do with things that are imported and things that are exported. To import something means to buy it from outside the country and have it shipped here. When you export something, you sell things to another country or people in another country. A tariff is like a charge or a tax on things that are imported. As such, it can make a big difference when it comes to how much things cost. The Tariff of Abominations was a huge tax on things that were imported into the country. People in the North, where people manufactured things, wanted this because they thought that people bringing in things from outside the country that were manufactured, that were cheap, was ruining their business. People in the South were very upset about this concept because they thought that because they didn't manufacture things, it was going to be more expensive for them to be able to buy things. They wouldn't be able to buy manufactured things from outside the country very cheaply, and they knew that manufacturers in the North would start charging more for their products, which in fact happened. Congress passed the Tariff of Abominations, and it could have been vetoed. The president is allowed to say, "No, I don't like that law and it's not going to be passed." That's what veto means. However, our friend John Q. Adams, like most presidents of the United States before him, thought that you should only veto something if you thought it was against the Constitution. John Q. Adams knew that his enemies would blame him for the Tariff of Abominations, but he signed it anyway. As it happened, John Q. Adams was right. Andrew Jackson and his supporters were very upset about the Tariff of Abominations. Another person who was John Q. Adams' vice president, John Calhoun, who was from the South. John Calhoun we'll hear more about later, but for now, he decided to be the vice presidential running mate of Andrew Jackson. It was as if John Calhoun switched teams. As the election happened, the Tariff of Abominations made John Q. Adams kind of unpopular. Andrew Jackson was also able to pick up some of the supporters of our old friend from last time, William Crawford. Andrew Jackson and his party were able to beat John Q. Adams and his party, and Andrew Jackson became president. At the time, neither Andrew Jackson's party nor John Q. Adams's party had a name. They quickly, however, acquired names after the election. Andrew Jackson's party was the Democratic Party. Although many things have changed since then, this is still the same organization that exists today as the Democratic Party. John Q. Adams' supporters would become the National Republican Party. This was not the same as the Republican Party that exists today, And in fact, as we'll see, it didn't end up lasting very long. John Q. Adams, however, did not retire from public life. Instead, he would become a member of the House of Representatives. He was elected to Congress 9 times. I think it was 9. It was many times. Your dad will look this up later because John Q. Adams is his favorite president. This concludes what we have to say about the election of 1828. Tune in next time when we talk about the election of 1832 and the nullification crisis. That's it.